Almost every Saturday since the conflict began on October the 7th, protesters in London have taken to the streets, calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza. But this demonstration holds extra significance.
Now, March the 30th is known to Palestinians as Land Day. It commemorates events back in 1976 when several unarmed Palestinians were killed and hundreds injured during protests against Israel's confiscation of Palestinian lands. They mark this day by holding protests and having vigils and planting olive trees to reaffirm their connection to the land.
The Palestinian struggle is rooted in attachment to the land. Of course, to the deprivation of rights, but fundamentally to dispossession. The vast bulk of Palestinians, of course, are living in exile, denied any access to the land physically. They cannot return to the homes from which their families were expelled in 1948. All of my family were forced to flee in 1948, so it's an important day.
Saturday's demonstration comes days after the UN Security Council passed a resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza after several failed attempts. It was the first time the United States did not veto the measure, as frustration with its ally Israel appeared to grow. UN Chief Antonio Guterres says the resolution must be implemented. The protesters hope that growing international unity could bring about an end to the conflict, which has claimed the lives of more than 32,000 Palestinians.
I think they took their time, they took long enough. We are there now. However, I think that Israel will not have, we've already seen that they're not going to respond in the correct way to ceasefire. But I think, if anything, again, it's opening the world up this to the impunity that Israel has enjoyed for so long.
You're seeing kind of even right-wing elements and kind of really reluctantly at least acknowledging, particularly the question of genocide. I think that's why people are still coming out, and it's forcing to at least acknowledge that.
Weeks of marches in London and across the globe as protesters reiterate their call to stop the fighting and hope governments and leaders are starting to hear their message. Rahul Pathak, CGTN, London.